All right, guys, remember the Lafayette police officer that was terminated? Now, he was a probationary. So when you're a probationary, you have no union rights. I mean, you could spit on the sidewalk and the chief could go, fire that motherfucker. You're in your probationary. But remember, he was terminated because when he was in the army before being a cop, he made some comments on a National Socialist website. And he was terminated for that. Remember when I said the police chief on Monday was going to address it? Well, he did address it this past Monday. And I'm going to give you the editorial story and put the link of this story in the description box below of kind of what the chief is saying and the way he's directing his department after this National Socialist guy was caught putting something on social media before he was a cop. What do you think about that? I mean, no, we don't want National Socialist cops on the street who could racially profile, because they could. They could be like, oh, black, I'm going to pull this motherfucker over. Oh, a Jew, I don't like Jews. Or, because that's National Socialist. But also, he has the right to free speech, right? Does he not have the right to free speech? And this was when he was in the army. This isn't even as a cop. I don't know, as a probationary. So here we go. Thank you to the Journal and Courier, which is jconline.com. Lafayette police on Monday were still trying to explain how they hired an officer recruit in June whose posts on a neo-Nazi site were uncovered by anti-fascist investigators a year earlier. Joseph Zacharek, exposed over the weekend for ties to a neo-Nazi group bent on starting a race war, was at the Indian Law Enforcement Academy on Friday when he was summoned back to Lafayette to meet with the Lafayette police chief. Less than 24 hours after that meeting, Zacharek, who admitted to Chief Pat Flannelly to writing posts on the neo-Nazi site, was fired. As a probationary police officer, Zacharek has no appeal of the decision, Lafayette Deputy Police Chief Brad Bishop said Monday during a news conference. Zacharek passed through Lafayette police screens for its potential officers, including a polygraph exam. Get back to that. The written tests and the lie detecting tests, I'm laughing, each have questions designed to ferret out racism in a would-be officer, Bishop said. It took a post on social media tagging Lafayette police on Friday night that Zacharek wrote racist posts on an online forum run by the neo-Nazi group Iron March. Bishop said about Zacharek's hiring in June, "We're doing everything we can to move forward to make sure we do have the training, to make sure we do our best and do our due diligence. I'm not making excuses or try to rationalize this. This was a mistake, and we're going to do our best to make sure it's not repeated." Kirk Freeman, a Lafayette attorney, asked as he pressed Bishop whether other neo-Nazis or members of other hate groups were employed by the Lafayette Police Department. "What are you doing to ensure there are no further Nazis at Lafayette Police Department?" Bishop replied, "If any information that would indicate that any of our officers hold those types of beliefs, we are going to investigate it immediately and aggressively." Asked whether Zacharek tainted other officers or tried to recruit officers, Bishop said, "We don't have any indication of that." Asked about the diversity of those who recommend new officers to the Merit Commission, as well as the makeup of the Merit Commission itself, Bishop noted that all of the police officers screening officer candidates are white men. The 5-member Merit Commission is comprised of white men and women, he said. Bishop said, quote, "We've tried for many, many years to attract the most highly qualified candidates for the police department as we can. We can't control who applies." He said about 90% of all candidates are weeded out during the background checks, physical fitness tests, polygraph tests, or written tests, Bishop said. He said whether or not a person is a minority or not has no bearing on whether or not they get hired. He offered no explanation on how Zacharek's ties to a neo-Nazi group escaped detection in the hiring process and indicated that Lafayette Police Department's background check did not find the website Iron March exposed. Chief Flannelly said, quote, "Everyone here is very angry because everyone has to wear this now. It's not just, oh, you're the officer who did that. It's, oh, you're one of those officers in that department. It makes our job more difficult." Okay, there's a few things I want to address here. Now, one of the things, the reason I laughed when I said lie detector test and you heard me laugh, look, the polygraph test is not a lie detector test. Okay, it's not a lie detector. It can't be like, he's lying. He's lying. You know, it's a polygraph, meaning poly, meaning many graphs. And so, heart rate, blood pressure, pulse, breathing, and so it can tell when like you get nervous and your blood pressure goes up. You might be nervous because they're asking an uncomfortable question, not because you're lying. You might be telling the truth. I took a polygraph test for a job at the Rialto Police Department, which I didn't get, because the polygraph examiner was an asshole. Little Nazi-looking dude with a Hitler mustache and glasses. He's an asshole. I hope he sees this video because you're an asshole. Some of the questions he asked were tailored to make me nervous. He just asked the most, I'm not going to ask him here, but he asked the most uncomfortable, awkward questions. I was like, oh my God, and my blood pressure started going. I started getting like kind of nervous. Like, why is he at? What kind of question is that? And then he goes, why is your blood pressure going up? Okay, your heart rate's going up. Yeah, you're asking fucking, who asked those questions? But that's what they do. They're tailored to make you nervous. If they don't like you, they know how to make you nervous. If they don't like you, they know how to get you out of there. And I noticed that because he was already pissed off because I parked in an area and he goes, I told you guys not to park there. I told you to park in the back. I go, I can move my car. No, that's fine. Well, so he already didn't like me. And then I guess he reported that I failed the polygraph. It's not a lie detector. It's a if we like you or not test is really what it is. So all it does is monitor your body. I mean, like I said, you could be telling the truth, but if they ask a seriously, awkward question, yeah, your heart rate's going to go up. You're going to be like, what the fuck is this motherfucker asking? And they're going to go, why is your heart rate going up? Because you're a fucking dick. But anyway, I wanted to get to that. It's not a lie detector. It's a polygraph. And so moving on, they said, so we use the polygraph test, to weed out, again, you can't use the polygraph test to weed out bad cops. It's not going to weed out bad or good cops. All it does is monitor heart rates and pulse and breathing. That's all it does, man. You don't know if this cop's telling the truth or lying. All you know is he's reacting to a question. That's all you know. Case in point, they hired this guy. Oh, he passed the polygraph. Yeah, he's a fucking neo-Nazi. And then the last thing I want to get to, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep my thoughts in order here, was when the chief said, that other cops are going to say, we have to wear this now. People are going to go, oh, you're one of those cops in that department. Yes. And that's why you officers that are good cops, and there are good cops, I believe, you need to say something. You need to say, hey, man, Joe over here, he's an asshole, dude. He was an asshole to that lady. You need to train him or talk to him. Not, well, ma'am, he's just having a bad day. I mean, he thought that you were. Don't justify that shit. Go to the chief and turn that bitch in. It's time for you guys to be snitches. I'm sorry, but it's true. Otherwise, you're going to be wearing those labels. John goes out to a call. He's a friggin' prick. He's an asshole. And then next week, Steve, who's a really nice cop, he's, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing, sir? All right, buddy. He goes out to the same house because they called back. And when he gets out there, they go, all you cops are pricks. Steve's like, whoa, the fuck, man? Well, it's not because Steve's a prick. It's because John was a prick. And when Steve comes out in the same uniform, they go, oh, they sent one of those prick cops back out. So, yes, you guys have to wear these labels when a bad cop does bad things. It's not that bad cop did that. It's, a cop did something. Another cop. That's why you guys wear these labels. And that's why I wanted to do this editorial, is to kind of point out that they're saying we're going to restructure our hiring process. We're going to try to, do better on our hiring process and do due diligence and try to screen people better. And one of the things you can do is get rid of that polygraph test, because that's just bullshit. That polygraph test is a wasted machine. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers from coast to coast.